Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Richard Nongard with Hypnosis, Nevada, and I've worked with countless individuals and with groups and with companies to help them accomplish their goals. I want to welcome you to this experience in clinical hypnosis. During the next 40 minutes or so, you will accomplish your goal of becoming a non-smoker, and you'll do it both easily and comfortably right here in this chair. Hypnosis is a proven method for accomplishing goals, and it works by harnessing the power of your subconscious mind to activate real change and to overcome for what many smokers has been a lifelong pattern of habit, of behavior, and of compulsion. Before this session began, you smoked your last cigarette. You emptied your ashtrays and you disposed of any remaining cigarettes in your pocket, your purse, your home, and in your car. And then you started this session, and you are now here in this chair, listening to my voice, seeing the images, and are excited about the new change that you can make. What new freedoms will come from being a non-smoker? What will it help you to accomplish? Perhaps better health? More money in your pocket each week? I bet the results of this change that you've made improve your relationships and even make the workday less stressful. When I quit smoking many years ago, I found that I enjoyed food better and that I had less anxiety, even though I thought that smoking helped me to control my worries or anxieties. But when I was a smoker, I wasn't only anxious about what I worried about, but I also had the added stress of wondering if I had my cigarettes with me, or if where I was going I would be able to smoke. Being free from cigarettes in and of itself helped me to decrease my stress level. I've worked with hundreds of people who have quit smoking, and the people who quit smoking tell me that they have more energy. They tell me that they're better lovers, that they're able to accomplish more, that they've not only saved money by not buying cigarettes, but that they've actually reduced their healthcare costs. They enjoy being a better example for their children and feeling a new freedom in just about every aspect of life. Which of these changes will be most important to you? As you sit in this comfortable chair, marking this moment with this breath, allow yourself to relax, just for comfort in any way that's beneficial to you. You've made the right choice by learning hypnosis, and you're following the path of hypnosis that millions of others who have quit smoking have followed. When actor Matt Damon quit smoking, he told Jay Leno on national TV that hypnosis was the greatest decision of his life. Ellen DeGeneres, a daytime TV host in America, quit smoking in one session on her daytime talk show. In fact, hypnosis has been famously used by many people, even geniuses. Albert Einstein, for example, used hypnosis to uncover the theory of relativity. This hypnosis session not only has embedded direct and indirect suggestions, which I will be sharing with you, but it also uses advanced audio effects and subliminal messages throughout the recording to help you accomplish your goals of being a non-smoker. Music is healing, and the relaxing music that you hear during this session is designed to stimulate creativity and breakthrough, and to help you fully relax into the moment. In this session, there are both audio and visual subliminal suggestions. These are affirmations you may hear or may see that reinforce the goal you have of becoming a non-smoker, and it does so at a subconscious level. You will find this hypnosis session both relaxing and interesting, and the outcome of participating until the very end is life-changing. It feels great to set aside cigarettes and to step into a smoke-free chapter of life, and this session is your guide to success. Let's talk for a moment about how hypnosis actually works. Hypnosis works because it engages the most creative parts of our mind and helps us to control both ingrained thoughts and to control distressing feelings or thoughts or even physical sensations. When you smoked, you often had distressing thoughts. What if I run out of cigarettes? Or, I need a cigarette right now to feel better. When you smoked, you also felt symptoms of physical distress. We call this withdrawal. When you went for a long period of time without smoking or were in a place where you couldn't smoke. But these thoughts and feelings were actually tricks of your own mind. The truth is, if you ran out of cigarettes, the worst thing that could possibly happen is you simply would not smoke. And we know that that belief is in and of itself a misbelief, because right now your real mind actually wants to quit. And so right now you're actually excited and happy about no longer having cigarettes. Our minds are great at playing tricks on us. Right now I've stopped the background music, and the only sound you can actually hear is my voice. Yet, if you listen, you can actually hear this tower thud every time it bounces. And you can hear the whir of the wires and maybe even a spring from the towers holding the wires. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? What about the elephants on a seesaw? Can you hear them thud and then bounce into the air with the passionate glee of a baby elephant playing? Our minds play tricks on us, and hypnosis breaks the old pattern of thinking that was a trick and the artificial associations that we made with cigarettes. Hypnosis works because it unleashes your greatest potential. After years and years, and perhaps decades of smoking, you've stifled your physical health. You've stifled your finances, and even the opportunity to develop new coping strategies that can actually help you rather than hurt you. And of course, we know from the study of neuroscience that the associations we've made because of our smoking are just illusions, like the sound of the bouncing elephants or the jump roping tower. You see, neuroscience tells us that what fires together wires together. And it is a trick of our mind that smoking means relaxation, or that smoking reduces stress, or that smoking makes you feel better. Let's take just one of these mind tricks, that smoking reduces stress. When you've been stressed out, you may have stepped outside to get away from the pressure. In that situation, perhaps you took out a cigarette. You focused on the ignition and then you took a drag of that cigarette. And in that moment, you felt calm, perhaps almost instantly. But here's the interesting thing. In that same situation, if you had taken the cigarette out of the equation and done the exact same thing but without smoking, you would have had the exact same results. It was not the cigarette that brought you stress relief. It was removing yourself from the source of the tension, if even for just a few minutes, and then taking in a deep breath. In other words, it was actually breath work or yoga breathing that decreased the physical sensation of stress. It wasn't the cigarette, but your mind believed that it was the cigarette because time after time, you've fired a cigarette and you've wired it to the state of calm. The good news is that in this hypnosis session, you will learn new ways to handle stress, eliminate cravings, and step into this new chapter of life as a non-smoker. And you don't have to fear that it will be difficult or distressing. You, like Matt Damon, will discover that hypnosis was the greatest decision of your life. One more thing before we begin this session. Many people wonder, can I really be hypnotized? Everyone has the ability to be hypnotized. During the day, we're either awake or asleep or somewhere in between. These are naturally occurring trance states, and hypnosis is actually the utilization of any or a number of these naturally occurring trance states. He uses the principles of accelerated learning that break automatic association. At no time during this session will you be asleep or unconscious. In fact, you might actually find that you're more aware and even activating your superconscious mind during this session. It's perfectly okay to feel both relaxed and excited, because during this session you'll be rewriting lifelong associations with certain behaviors and learning new ways to relax in the face of any stress. I will be helping you to discover the hidden solutions that are already within you to ratify this change that you've already made by having your last cigarette and choosing to participate in this complete session. Let's try one more just for fun, and then we'll begin the session. Read each word on the screen that you see out loud with me right now. Most, boast, yoast, ghost, post, host, roast. Now answer this simple question. What is it that you put into a toaster? Your answer is probably toast. That's the answer most people give, but the correct answer is, of course, bread. Toast is what we get when we're done cooking our bread. Why did you answer toast? It really is hypnosis. You created an association by reading those words, and so you gave an automatic answer that was similar to those words. So why did you smoke? It really was hypnosis. All of those years you had created associations and given automatic responses. In this session, largely what we're going to be doing is unhypnotizing the old ideas and replacing them with new hypnotic suggestions. Hypnosis breaks these associations forever. It is a fun and interesting way to stop smoking. Congratulations. You've had your last cigarette. You've cleaned out your pockets, your purse, your house, and your car of the accoutrements of smoking, and now you have a better understanding of how hypnosis works. We are ready to begin, so take in a breath, relax into the chair where you sit, adjust for comfort if needed, and let's begin. Congratulations, you are now a non-smoker. Take a breath in, smile, and let yourself feel good about this decision. It took a lot for you to get here. You've put both time and energy, and even money into making this change, and this hypnosis session will help you reap the rewards of this choice. Right now, as you sit in this chair, you've already begun to reap the rewards of being a non-smoker. Notice your heart rate right now. Calm and relaxed. This is because your heart rate levels drop to normal levels within the first 20 minutes of being a non-smoker. Over the next 12 hours, your blood oxygen levels will return to a normal level, and you can already notice that it's easier to breathe. And so, right now, just breathe. And with each breath, relax into this moment and this hypnosis session. If you need to adjust for comfort, now or at any time during the session, that's perfectly okay. You'll never be asleep during our time. Rather, you'll be deeply relaxed and focused. You'll always be able to hear my voice, perhaps choosing to pay attention to every word that I use and experience a light level of trance. Or perhaps you will not pay close attention to the words, choosing instead to go into a deeper level of trance and experience the session rather than listening to it. Either way is of course fine. This is your time and your session and the beginning of a new chapter of life. This session contains powerful subliminal suggestions designed to empower you in this moment. You'll also hear hypnotic suggestions, but these are not suggestions that come from me, or rather suggestions that you've asked me to make. They come from you because you've chosen to participate in this session. They're what you've asked me to create for you today. And when you leave here, you get to take this session with you. The conclusion of this session is actually the beginning of your first day as a non-smoker. You get to take this experience with you. It's not something that ends here. And that's great news, because that means that you can take your success from here to really anywhere. To home, to work, to your car, to the places where you go, really just about anywhere. On the screen now, you can see the image of a very famous painting by the French artist Georges Seurat. It was done in the style of pointillism, and it is made of many points. Choose a point on the screen that you can bring your attention to, any of the dots or the points in this painting, and just focus on that dot. It doesn't matter which one. Just bring all of your attention to that point on the painting, essentially staring at a spot. Continue to stare at the spot, and notice that just because you're staring at something, your eyes will get a little bit tired, and the spot might become hazy, fuzzy, or a little more difficult to see or focus on. For some people, the spot that you're focusing on actually becomes sharper, crisper, and clearer. And for some, the dot doesn't really appear to change. Either way is okay. What's really most important is that you've just focused your attention on that spot. And the result is that the eyes get tired, and you know that it would just feel more comfortable to close the eyes. When you're tired of staring at that spot on the painting, just take in a breath and close the eyes down and relax. As you relax the muscles of your body, continue to breathe in and breathe out. There's no right or wrong way to experience hypnosis, and it's perfectly okay if the mind wanders and thinks. If you notice this happening, just bring your attention back to your breath. I don't know if you've ever taken a yoga class or not, but in yoga they do something that's called the body scan. And they just pay attention to anywhere in the body where tension is, and they let that tension go. Pay attention to your body right now. And anywhere where you are carrying the tension of the day, just let that tension go. And of course, if you notice anywhere in the body where it would be more comfortable to adjust in order to relax further, that's perfectly okay as well. It won't disturb you. In fact, it'll help you become more comfortable and to relax even further. And of course, outside of the room where you are, there could be the sounds of the day around you. Cars, dogs, people, even a delivery person, or a phone or a machine, or somebody walking by. If during this session you hear any noises from the outside world, those won't disturb you either. In fact, they'll help you to relax even further by simply reassuring you that you're in the right place, having made the right choice by learning hypnosis today. This is your time not only to relax, but to learn and to experience and to feel fantastic. As you breathe in and breathe out, paying attention to the breath, stay in the moment of each breath, letting go of any concerns of yesterday or fears of tomorrow, and really enjoying this moment and accomplishing the goals that are most important to you. Open your eyes for a moment. Go ahead, open your eyes. So far, hypnosis feels pretty good, doesn't it? You're doing exactly what you need to do to access the deepest parts of the subconscious mind. You can see the number 100 on the screen in front of you. And notice how the number 100 melts into the next number, number 99, and melts into 98 and 97. Count in your mind backwards as each number melts into the next. 96, 95, 94. As each number melts into the next, continue to relax, counting the numbers in your mind until the numbers become no longer important and you feel like closing the eyes again. We have over 200 little tiny muscles in the face, muscles around the eyes and the eyelids, and you can relax those muscles. You can relax the jaw, you can unclench the teeth, and you can sink back into the chair if it's more comfortable to you. And if your eyes aren't closed yet, go ahead and close the eyes down and notice a sensation of relaxation extending from head to toe, through the neck and shoulders, and even into the upper arms and forearms as your hands rest on your lap or the armrest of the chair. Just like we have little tiny muscles in the eyelids, we have little tiny muscles in the fingers and the hands, and they can relax as well. When they relax, the hands become very heavy, just like the eyelids have become heavy. And you can think of the word heavy and say to yourself, my hands are heavy. My hands are heavy. My hands are heavy. And let your hands be very heavy. Now in your mind, think of the word warmth. Warmth like that which might come from the sun, or warmth like that which might come from inside of the body. And as you think of the word warmth, pay attention to your hands and say to yourself, my hands are warm. My hands are warm. My hands are warm. And let both of your hands be warm and heavy. Notice the experience or sensation or awareness of warmth and heaviness. And say to yourself, my hands are warm and heavy. My hands are warm and heavy. My hands are warm and heavy. In fact, so heavy that even though you know with the conscious mind you could lift or move the hands if you wanted to, it feels so good to just let them relax here in this moment that if you tried to lift your hands, you'd find it becomes impossible. They'd become locked down to your lap. Go ahead, try to lift your hands. But you find that when you try, it becomes impossible. They've become heavy and relaxed. Let those hands relax even further. Deeply relaxed. You're doing perfect. With each breath and each moment, relaxing a little bit further, letting the muscles of the back and the belly relax. The muscles of the thighs, the calves, and even the tiny toes inside of your shoes, they can relax as well. Of course, you can hear my voice, never asleep, simply deeply relaxed. You may, with your conscious mind, decide to pay attention to each and every word that I use in our session, or you might decide to only listen to every third or fifth or 10th word during our session, choosing to experience the process rather than to listen to the process, and either way is fine. What's really most important is that you have already made a change. You've made a decision, and by participating in this session, you've taken action on it. So you can let those toes relax and the feet relax. And you can say to yourself, my feet are warm and heavy. My feet are warm and heavy. My feet are warm and heavy. And you can be comfortable and calm, completely relaxed, right here in this chair. Sometimes when I'm doing a hypnosis session, people notice the sensation of relaxation in the body, but some of them wonder, what about my thoughts? I'm still thinking. But that's a good thing. That's what our minds do after all. They think. So it's not a hindrance in the process of hypnosis. It's actually an enhancement if you have thoughts right now. If at any time, though, you find that your thoughts are distracting you, or you have an internal dialogue that's distracting you, you can just use that as an indicator that it's time to return your attention back to the breath, and again, to be just present in this moment. Imagine that you're in a beautiful place that you've either been to before or that you would like to go, or even a place of your own creation. Imagine that it's a perfect day, and in this perfect place, visualize it in your mind's eye. And as you breathe in and out, imagining that you're in this place that you've been to before, or that you'd like to visit, or that you've created in your own mind, notice a clear blue sky above. In your mind's eye, create the image of a single white puffy cloud floating through the clear blue sky, lazily and leisurely floating through the sky as it moves off towards the horizon. As it moves off towards the distance, it becomes smaller and smaller. There is a point where it completely disappears from view, carrying with it anything either known or unknown that is holding you back from accomplishing that which you have already accomplished today. With the disappearance of that cloud off into the horizon, this marks the point where your success and your change and your new entrance into a chapter of life has taken place. And so with each number and each breath, double the experience of relaxation, turning the page into this new chapter of life and feeling fantastic. With each number and each breath, relaxing a little bit further. 10, 9, 8. You're doing perfect. All the way down now, each number and each breath, relaxing a little bit further into this moment. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Wonderful. All the way down now, deep into hypnosis. 3, 2, 1, 0. Never asleep, but deeply relaxed. You'll find that from this point forward, not smoking is an effortless thing for you to do. You've replaced the morning cigarette with an energizing deep breath from the belly each morning. And as you can relax here in the chair, each breath, each moment, each number, doubling your awareness of relaxation. 3, 2, 1, 0. Take a moment to recognize the transformation that has already taken place, and to enjoy the moment and the realization that you don't have to wonder if you will be a non-smoker. but that you are a non-smoker right now, and it feels good to deeply relax into this new chapter of life, feeling calm and secure and fantastic. In your mind's eye, I'd like you to think back to the time when you had your very first cigarette. Where were you? Who were you with? What were you doing at that moment that you had your very first cigarette? Our minds are really creative. And so imagine that you're there now. You can see the image in your mind. You can hear the voices perhaps of the other people. But imagine now that for some reason there's no cigarette in the picture. That you and the other people who you were with simply did not smoke at all. And right now in hypnosis, it's as if you have an opportunity to rewrite history. You can see that scenario, that sensation, that experience when you had your first cigarette, but for some reason the cigarette is gone. It's as if you never even made the choice to smoke in the first place. Our minds are infinitely creative, and so while it may seem weird to the conscious mind to imagine something not as it was, you'll find that it's actually easy to do. And you can see yourself in your teenage years, the places where you were, the people who you're with, and the situations where you were, but without a cigarette. Because it's as if you never even had one in the very first place. And see yourself in your college years, or the years of your first job, or your years in the military service, doing the things that you did. But imagining that you never even had that first cigarette in the first place. Seeing yourself in the apartment or the house, or the car, or the work site, or the classroom, as if you simply never had made the choice to smoke in the first place. Now bring yourself, imagining vividly the places where you lived, the time of your 30s and 40s or even 50s, and bring yourself right now all the way to the present moment, as if you never even had a cigarette in the first place. Because you have the ability to create a new experience of how you recalled your previous associations, you will find that from this point forward, it becomes incredibly easy and natural to forget to remember to smoke. When others choose to smoke, or you go to a place that used to remind you to smoke, you'll remember to forget to smoke in every situation from this point forward. It's really as if you were never even a smoker in the first place. And it feels pretty good to know that you've been good to your body and that you've made the right choices. And here in this place, in this moment, being a non-smoker is the natural state of your life. Because of this, if there are people in your world who continue to smoke, maybe someone you live with or somebody you work with, or even just people you see in a public place, their choice to smoke will not be a temptation for you to smoke. You'll recognize it simply as a choice that they've made that is far different than the choices you have made for yourself. You won't have disdain or distress about the choice of other people, or aggravate them about their choice. You simply choose to do something different, something good for you, something good for your health, and it feels fantastic. See yourself now as you know that you will be a week from now or 10 days from now, breathing clean air. And a month from now, feeling strong and healthy, as your body has largely healed from the immediate damages of previous smoking. And because you feel so good, even a year from now, you'll continue your success, knowing that what the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. And 10 years from now, and 20 years from now, and 30 years from now, even 100 years from now, you'll forget to remember that you've ever even smoked in the first place. And anything that used to be a cue to activate the response of smoking is something you remember to forget about. Notice how you feel right now. When entering your home or your work, your car, or any place that you smoked, stop and pause for a moment before you sit. Taking a breath and, with the eyes open or closed, bring yourself back to this state of calm and this state of conviction and this state of confidence that you feel right now. When stressed, if you ever notice a craving or a knot in your back or clenched teeth, simply scan your entire body for tension. Breathe and relax any muscles that need to be relaxed and move forward calmly and easily, forgetting to remember to smoke, or remembering to forget about cigarettes completely. We know that each day of success brings a greater level of satisfaction in that success. And so, even if your motivation is only the increased reward of more money in your pocket, or freedom from the chains nicotine once held, continue to move forward because you've made the right choice. From this point forward, anytime you find an old cigarette or are tempted to borrow one from a friend, you'll immediately crush the cigarette in two between your fingers. The accoutrements of smoking that lay around the house are no longer needed, and so ashtrays, lighters, matches, or even items with cigarette company logos in your home can be tossed into the trash. You'll desire to do this because the idea of smoking is simply foreign to you. You are no longer a smoker, and these strange objects are of no use to you, even if at one point in life you considered them to be of value. Because you've stopped smoking at this point, you feel a sense of wellness throughout the body. And with the next breath, enjoy that feeling. And notice the heart rate, smooth and rhythmic. And your breath, calm and regular. And know that hypnosis is working well to bring you the life force throughout every cell of your body. Continue to relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And in your mind, create a mental picture of the beating heart pumping healthy blood to your lungs and filling your cells with oxygen. Imagine the oxygen and energizing blood moving throughout the whole body. Your body's a remarkable machine, and even if you've suffered illness to this point as a result of smoking, your body has the ability to repair itself. The tickle in your throat and the shallow breaths at this point give way to a body able to repair the years of damage done by smoking. And every part of your body will increasingly feel energized with a positive life force. Even your skin begins to feel like the cells are rejuvenated. And this is because oxygen is able to flow unimpeded, providing nourishment to every cell in the body. It is effortless for you to stop smoking, and it won't feel like a challenge to you. You know that you have the capacity to not engage in automatic behaviors like smoking, and that you have the ability to choose new behaviors like simply taking a walk or taking a deep breath. It's easy for you to live as a non-smoker because you enjoy the feeling of not being dominated by a cigarette company, and you will enjoy every extra dollar that you now have. It is effortless to begin a new life because you've increased the number of people who are now attracted to you. More people are attracted to you, not only because of the physical changes of health, but also because people enjoy being with those who triumph over cigarette addiction, and you're now seen as a strong person who makes healthy choices. These are the characteristics of a winner, and you possess these characteristics. In the past, your conscious choice may have been to smoke, but the conscious choice is always temporary and temporal. Your subconscious mind never agreed with that choice. You sensed perhaps disappointment when you smoked, or even became upset with the choice that you made. Reconcile now your unconscious desire to be smoke-free with your new conscious choices, knowing that in every situation your new action is to breathe fresh air and to energize yourself and to love life as a non-smoker. This moment feels pretty good, but it's not a moment or an experience that I've created for you. You've created it by participating in this session and letting me guide you through the process. But this resource state we call hypnosis is really your own resource state. And so bring your attention now to your right hand. Bring all of your attention to your right hand, to the thumb and the index finger on the right hand, and go ahead and touch the thumb tip to the fingertip like you're making an OK sign. You can let your hand rest on your lap as you touch that thumb and index finger together, but touch them together and press them together and hold that tension for a moment between those two fingers. Now relax. Relax those fingers. Relax them completely. Press those two fingers together again, just like you did a moment ago. The thumb and the index finger together, and hold them together, and notice how wonderful this resource state we call hypnosis really feels. You've created this, and now relax your fingers. Let them relax again. Anytime in the next day or two, or the next week or two, or even the next year or two, anytime there's stress or tension or a physical sensation or experience that's difficult to you, simply touch that thumb and index finger together, and you'll notice that when you do, whether you're at home or in a car or at work, in a kitchen, a restaurant, or anywhere, you'll immediately bring back this wonderful resource state that you've created, knowing that you have the ability to enter into this new chapter of life, having let go of anything either known or unknown keeping you from success and continuing to do wonderful. And so allow yourself now another moment of tranquility, of confidence, of power, to ratify the decision that you've made, the change that has taken place, feeling confident and empowered, knowing that from this point forward, when you next step over the threshold of the door to leave your home or office, that you can take the transformation that's taken place during this session with you and to anywhere. And when our session is done and you open your eyes, when you notice the color red in the world around you, it could be anything from a stop sign to a taillight to somebody's tie or a sign. It could be a label or really anything in the world around you. But when you notice the color red over the next day or 2 or 3, it'll be simply a reminder to you of this decision that you've made, this action that you've taken, and how wonderful it feels to be released from smoking forever. And that color red will just bring a smile to your face. It'll be a reminder in your world that you've done something fantastic. And we know that this change is permanent because it's as if you had never even had a cigarette in the first place, finding it incredibly easy to move forward and to never look back. I'll give you another moment to simply release, in this time in your own way, anything either known or unknown keeping you from success. You can let it rise above you to a new chapter of life, or you can let it drift from your body through the soles of your feet and into the core of the earth, releasing it forever. You've done great today. Absolutely fantastic. It is time to reorient now. To reorient to the chair below you where you sit, to your hands resting on your thighs or the armrest of the chair, to the sound of my voice that you're hearing, and to this wonderful feeling that you've created. You've done a great thing, and it is awesome to be a non-smoker, to have released that forever in this moment. Congratulate yourself. And breathe in. And when you breathe in right now, notice the oxygen as it fills the lungs and energizes the body. And be ready when I count to 3 to open the eyes, feeling fantastic and ready for the rest of the day. 1, taking in a breath. 2, feeling fantastic and stretching any muscles that need to be stretched, getting ready to open the eyes, and 3, opening the eyes, feeling fantastic, and congratulating yourself for becoming a non-smoker.